Welcome back to the program. Wage hikes in East Asia have begun to shift low-end manufacturing to Africa, and countries such as Senegal are vying for the millions of jobs that China is expected to shed. Ethiopia has risen above its competitors so far, but Senegal thinks it can replicate that success. Well, on the outskirts of the capital, giant hangars have been built for a Chinese garment maker and other foreign companies expected to set up in 2017. 4 new factory buildings rise up outside Senegal's capital, the first phase of a government plan to woo Chinese companies increasingly shifting low-end production to Africa as wages in East Asia rise. African countries are vying for the millions of manufacturing jobs that China is expected to shed. So far, Ethiopia is ahead of the competition with a fledgling shoe and garment-making sector that has made it one of Africa's rising economic stars. And now, Senegal, a country with a tiny manufacturing base in main exports, including fish and peanuts, hopes to replicate that success with a new industrial park and a deal with a Chinese businesswoman. The 85 billion CFA franc project in the town of Diminado is the country's attempt to boost a manufacturing sector that has languished for decades and is poised to be one of the first cases of Chinese industry spreading from East Africa to the French-speaking West.
Of
course, with China's experience, we know that today there is a saturation of industrial production in China. But above all, there is also an increase in the workforce. And even the Chinese, just as the Europeans did, are today emigrating, going elsewhere. That is why Africa, which is still a virgin industry, so to speak, when it comes to manufacturing, is something that attracts Chinese investors.
Senegal's stable democracy and Atlantic Ocean port make it a natural candidate for export-based industry, but it ranks 147 out of 190 countries on the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index due to the problems with electricity access and bureaucracy.
We have already received many requests from European, African, including Senegalese, American and Asian companies who wish to relocate their manufacturing here in Dakar. And certainly, this is due to the fact that Dakar has a very interesting geographical location.
Kenya, Tanzania and Rwanda are among other African countries that are chasing Chinese textile investment and have launched or planned new industrial zones in the last 3 years. None, however, are as far along as Ethiopia. China has also invested in manufacturing in Ghana and Nigeria, West Africa's top economies, but its activity in the French-speaking countries has been centered around more traditional areas like infrastructure and mining. According to analysts, between 5 and 10 African countries are likely to see their industrial sectors take off in the next decade as production shifts from Asia. In London, Nigerian-born entrepreneur Tomi Makojiola has been leading the vegan rise in popularity among Africans living in the city, offering healthier and meatless dishes packed with flavors. Chef Tomi makes meals for about 30 guests daily. Well, Tomi specializes in traditional Nigerian food presented with a twist as vegan dishes.
The vegan movement has gained popularity in recent years. Its followers do not eat meat, fish or poultry and do not consume other animal products like eggs or dairy. Nigerian cuisine is known for its rich and spicy flavors and usually consists of rice, fish, meat and vegetable dishes often cooked in palm oil. Tomi's interest in vegan cuisine peaked after seeing a gap in African restaurants. Few offer vegan options in their menus. She says she wants to cater to people looking for tasty, healthy vegan meals.
I feel that people are curious about vegan food because of just the attention it's getting in the media these days. And when you combine that with the fact that it's vegan Nigerian food and they haven't tried that before or even that combination before, they're definitely fascinated and want to try something different. Because I feel like there are so many restaurants out there that you can go to nowadays, but African food for the most part is underrepresented. And so wherever people can find, I guess, difference, they're going to go there.
Tomi says vegan cuisine has a reputation for being bland, but that it doesn't have to be. She infuses her dishes with different flavors using staple ingredients that are found in many traditional non-vegan Nigerian dishes such as tomatoes, ginger, coconut, pepper, onions, and so on. Tonight's menu consists of couscous, salads, lentils, rice, and various other vegetable dishes. Although most of the guests here say they are meat eaters, they said they were impressed by tonight's menu.
Found out I was coming to a vegan restaurant, I was quite intrigued about what the food was going to be like. I've never had Nigerian vegan food before. It was really tasty. I really like the lentils. The lentils are really well done. The couscous was really tasty with the peppers. Really well presented. It's really good. I really enjoyed it.
We're just, I think, naturally just moving away from it because, you know, the way animals are reared in this country and how meat is actually produced is not, it's not great anyway. So, yeah, I actually think people will identify with it because of that.
It was amazing. I particularly liked the dish with the plantain. I think it was the salad with plantain in it, and it had like the onion kind of like breadcrumbs in it. That was really nice. Yeah, but Tommy's food is really good anyway. I've been to, this is the second supper club that I've been to. I love her food.
Tommy attributes her success to the flavors she adds to some dishes, mimicking the texture of meat with specific vegetables and spices.
I had meat eaters. I focus on flavor because I do feel like that is where the crux of it is. Texture is another one as well. So if you can find ways to use vegetables that have sort of a meaty consistency, and you use that in normal foods that would contain a lot of meat, then they don't feel as though they're missing out too much because they do have that texture of meaty food without the animal products included in it.
Tommy says she plans to expand her menu and explore other vegan dishes from various African countries. She is also the founder of the website The Vegan Nigerian, where she shares recipes inspired by Nigerian cuisine.
Until the next time you find yourself in London, try to visit Chef Tommy's kitchen. Well, elsewhere, Egyptians seem to be hungry and angry as a currency plunge sends food prices higher. Low-income Egyptians say food has become unaffordable after inflation soared following the flotation of the currency.
At a food market in Cairo, 70-year-old Mahmoud Abdul Hassan tries to work out how he can feed his family of 5. Food prices have risen by more than 40% over the last year, and that's according to official data, as the Egyptian pound to plunge, forcing inflation up. While that policy helped Egypt clinch a $12 billion 3-year loan from the International Monetary Fund, its effects have hurt normal Egyptians, particularly the poorest.
One day we eat, and one day we don't. Every day is sick of it. I wish they would feed us.
Further into the market, Bakar, a widowed mother of 4 who works as a school janitor, could barely contain her fury at the government, which says it is rebuilding an economy shaken by years of turmoil since the uprising that toppled President Hosni Mubarak in 2011.
They said to us, vote, vote, vote. And now what? This is not working at all. It's very unfair. What should I do? Should I sell one of my children? If they'll buy him from me, great. I wish I could escape this despair.
Dina Bekhit, a food security specialist at Egypt's official statistics agency, CAPMAS, acknowledged the problem.
If we base our projections for the 2016-2030 period on how things are today, I can tell you it's not looking very reassuring. Not in a way that calls for panic, but we have problems that we need to be solved. But that's it on the program today. Many thanks for watching. I am BC Adebayo.